Blog Talk Radio.
Everybody, and welcome to another Soul Sister show with hosts Sue and Ann. And today we have Thursday, August 27th. Wow, we are proceeding this year, right? And we are live call-in show, so call in at 213-943-3587. 213-943-3587. International callers dial +1 before the number, and you can join us, ask questions. And today we have a very special guest who will offer you free mini healings live on air. So stay tuned so you can learn more about what's going to come. If you want to talk with us live on air, please press 1 so we see that you are ready to come on with us. And I'm Anne, coming to you live from Rhodes in Greece today. And as I hinted before, on today's show, we are going to welcome a very special guest, Rocky Krogfoss, a quantum emotional healer. And we will be talking about how healing truly occurs and what does it really mean to be empowered, plus your calls for questions and mini healings live on air with Rocky. And Rocky he has many years of experience. You will hear about his story in a little bit. And he will be doing mini healings for things like migraines, physical pain, anxiety, depression, feeling lost, feeling stuck, and more. Please note that Rocky does not do psychic readings. So if any one of you want a mini reading, a psychic mini reading, we will do them in the chat room today. So because we dedicate this show that will be 2 hours long today, it's an extended show, 2 hours long. We dedicate the whole show today to our special guest and talk about quantum emotional healing and how the healing occurs. And we are a live call-in worldwide radio, broadcasting today from Arizona in the U.S. and Rhodes in Greece. And, of course, Rocky is coming from Canada, so we are spreading out today. Also remember that you can listen live and text chat with us during the show at scrollsofthesoul.com/live. scrollsofthesoul.com/live, or why not give us a ring at 213-943-3587. 213-943-3587. International callers dial +1 before the number, and remember to press 1 if you want to talk with us live on the show. And on today's show, we are welcoming special guest Rocky Krogfoss, quantum emotional healer, discussing how healing truly occurs and, sorry for my voice, what does it really mean to be empowered? What does it really mean to be empowered? Plus your calls for questions and mini healings live on air with Rocky. And Rocky will be doing mini healings for migraines, physical pain, anxiety, depression, and more. Please note that Rocky does not do psychic mini readings. So if any one of you want a psychic mini reading, we still do them, but we do them in the chat room today. So you can go to scrollsofthesoul.com scrollsofthesoul.com/live. Scrollsofthesoul.com/live. And we are a live call-in show, so give us a ring at 213-943-3587. 213-943-3587. International callers dial +1 213-943-3587. And if you want to talk with us, remember to press 1. And if you haven't listened to us before, we are the show that discusses the Akashic Records, soul realignment, healing modalities in general, and of course, we just love to talk about any and all spiritual topics. And we are always a live call-in worldwide radio. So give us a ring at 213-943-3587. International callers dial +1 before the number and press 1 if you want to talk with us live on the show. And you can also visit us on YouTube, search for Scrolls of the Soul Radio directly on YouTube, and please help us out by subscribing and liking our videos so you can see full past episodes and short teasers of upcoming shows on YouTube. Now, let me bring on my co-host for Soul Sisters, Sue, all the way from hot Arizona. Hi, Sue. How are you?
Hi, Sissy. I'm doing really well. Finally got a good night's sleep. We're supposed to be getting some cool weather from what the husband was telling me. So looking forward to about 100 degrees. I know that's that's probably funny to everybody else, but believe me, every degree matters once you're past 100 degrees. So yeah, that's coming up in a day or so. He was telling me.
Nice. So once again, everybody listening, we have a very special guest today. So we are going to talk about quantum emotional healing with Rocky Krogfoss. So give us a call at 213-943-3587. 213-943-3587. Now is a great time to get your spot in the queue. International callers dial +1 before the number, and you can press 1 if you want to talk with us live on the show. And if you'd like to connect with me and or Sue, you can find us at scrollsofthesoul.com/Sue or scrollsofthesoul.com/N. And of course, you can find out much more about us at scrollsofthesoul.com. And before we move on with today's show, I know that my Sissy wants to recap what last show was all about.
Yes, I do. Thank you, Sissy. Last week, we delved into numerology. You know, I find this quite fascinating. You know, Anne has, of course, been doing this a little bit longer than I have. But I got to tell you, the more we see what's materializing in our world today, the more you can really start to understand these numbers and how this all comes into play and works within itself. It's kind of a fascinating area to go into. And of course, last week's show, we had invited all of our callers and listeners to send in their birthdays and information to receive a reading. And what we noted last week was that we ended up with a lot of 7s last week, huh, Sissy?
Yeah, we did. I think 4 callers with 7, including you.
Right, yeah. So, and of course, you know, each number, I don't say one is better than the other, so that's just a given. But it is just fascinating, you know, how everything works together. And you start to notice that when you're working with numbers. At least I have, and I'm so early in learning numerology, but because numbers have jumped out to both Anne and myself, you know, throughout many years, it's really a different way of looking at it and understanding what's happening around you and what's gone on in the past. So, and of course, if you haven't had a chance to participate, you're welcome to go back in to the show at scrollsofthesoul.com/path and listen in on that show. We usually do something with numbers every third week of the month. So, keep listening. We'll be doing this again next month as well. So, with that being said, I would like to introduce our guest. I'm just going to call out Rocky. Rocky, are you there?
I am here.
Hi. Welcome. Thank you for coming on air with us.
Well, it's my pleasure. There's much to learn today, and the whole spiritual community has a need for the types of information that I've been blessed to have downloaded from my spirit guides and from the universe in terms of what quantum really means. Energy healers can upgrade to quantum if they wish. And so the quantum world is the word that matches the frequency of the new earth. So quantum simply means welcome to the new earth, and it means other things for women as well, but I can get into that a little bit later.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So could you tell our audience a little bit about yourself, your history, and how you came into the healing modalities?
Yeah, I'll start with my childhood because my work involves inner child, and my work involves working with the patriarchal mindset and all the limitations that are downloaded to women. But my story starts when I was 10 years old. I lived in a city called Port Alberni, which is on Vancouver Island, which is, it was a small mill town. It was a forestry town. And at age 10, I was the oldest of 5 boys, aged 10, 9, 4, 2, and 1. And my dad was, let's just call him a real piece of work. He was a nutbard. Just be clear. Angry all the time, violent. And my mom left when I was 10, and overnight I became what I call the beaten mother of all my brothers. And so from age 10 and on, I didn't live a good life before my mom left, but after she left, I literally lived under the roof of a tyrant, and I became familiar with the 24/7 fear that women experience in domestic abuse situations. And it sort of was a guidepost for me moving forward. When I moved out of the house, and I was a really good athlete at that time. I played several sports, and I was high level at most of them. That kind of saved me from going snaky or losing it as a child. But I had a lot of programs downloaded into me about what my dad said to me, which was, you're useless, you're a piece of crap, and why don't you go kill yourself, and all these kinds of things. So I didn't have a whole lot of worthiness to receive love. I had zero confidence in myself, and I stepped out into the world with zero on my plate, whereas most people have at least something on their plate. So I wandered through my 20s and 30s, basically trying to catch up from all the life that I lost in my childhood. And I did that pretty good. I partied pretty hard, and I'm a big guy, so I did work as a I call it a doorman. Some people call it a bouncer at many nightclubs during my 20s. I also was an apprentice electrician at the time. So I went from zero ego to full ego in about the shake of an eye, because I moved from Port Alberni over to Vancouver, which was literally moving to the big city, and big-eyed, rocky, and that kind of thing. So I went through my 20s and most of my 30s. I got married when I was 30. Yeah, I was 30 years old when I got married, when I was 35, we had a daughter. And my daughter is the greatest inspiration and the greatest gift that a father could ever ask for. She's a crystalline indigo child. I didn't know what that meant at that time. And she's truly an angel on earth, and don't know what else to say. She so when I was around 39, 40, my marriage ended, and I became a single parent, and about 2 years after that, it's like the spirit guides pulled the switch on me. Literally, one day I was Rocky, the same old guy, walking around, kicking a ball into the back of the net and shooting a puck into the net, and that was my life. And then ego. So they pulled the switch on me, and I fell through the floor, so to speak, into a very, very, very dark place. I wouldn't wish it on anybody because it was hell, literally on earth. It was very dark, and my entire body, from the top of my neck, from my neck down to my belly button, it all froze. My body completely froze. And all of the pain and suffering in my life came to the forefront all at once. And so at that time, I went and saw a doctor, which, everybody does. And he gave me pills, which did nothing. And 3 weeks later, I threw them away, and I swore that I would never take a pill again from a doctor because it was absolutely pointless and useless. At that point, I sat on my bed one night, and I just thought, no, I can't live like this. And then I looked up, and in the corner of my bedroom, I saw and felt this black vortex spinning. I literally saw it. I walked up to it, and I felt the winds of hell go through my body. And I was to learn later on that was winds of my own personal hell, because I don't believe in hell. But I went. I did what a warrior normally does. I looked at the black vortex, and I gave it the middle finger, and I went over and sat down on my bed again. And I said these words that would make my father turn over in his grave. And what I said was, "Oh my God, I need help." And help showed up 3 weeks later. A woman who's a dear friend of mine now, she showed up in my life, and she channels spirit guides, and she's extraordinarily good at it. She's as good, if not better, than Esther Hicks. And so thus began a 12-year journey, well over 500 hours of working with spirit guides and working on the multiple layers, and I mean multiple layers, of unworthiness, fear, shame, abandonment, violence that I had to deal with, limitation and fear. They helped me start releasing layer by layer by layer. I spent well over 500 hours. Sorry,
peeling the onion, so to speak.
Like peeling the onion, exactly. And so I spent well over 500 hours working with spirit guides. And in 2001, I'd already been working with the spirit guides for about 3 years at this point. A voice came through, and her name was Decia, and she was one of my spirit guides. So she introduced herself, and she began to tell me about a lifetime that we had lived together. And she told me that I had been military in many of my lifetimes, and I had been the leader of armies and all that kind of stuff. So she said in this one particular lifetime that she experienced torture, and it was not very fun. It was not very pleasant. And it wasn't pleasant for me either, because I don't know a lot about the story, but I knew who she was, and it was not fun for me to watch her be tortured, but I couldn't stop it. And so I came to her before I was born in this life, and I asked her to be present when my father hit me every time, but she was not allowed to interfere. She said she could have physically intervened if she was allowed to. So what happened, why we did that, she said, what you did by doing this work as a child with your father is you freed me from my karmic ribbons of pain from that torture. And she began to cry. She was so grateful. It was one of the most emotional moments of my life. And
Wow.
at that point, I felt such honor. Warrior souls do this honor thing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt so much honor that I said to her, literally, I would do it again for you anytime. And so that was a very powerful moment. And she also mentioned to me some things about my gifts. They weren't that clear, but, I was going to be moving forward in a different direction in my life, but she couldn't tell me at that point. Then I kept doing my work, my healing work, and I started to get really interested in the work that Linda was doing because it was working. I was starting to feel better. I was starting to feel more confident. I was starting to feel the anxiety literally disappeared, and the paranoia disappeared, and the fear and the terror disappeared. And then in 2006, I had my pivotal moment in session. I had cried really, really hard because I'd been talking about my father and the pain, and I cried for about 20 minutes straight. And as I was waiting to catch my breath again, this voice came through the channel, Linda, and the voice said to me, I have been communicating to you through everyone you meet. And I said, excuse me? I have been communicating to you through everyone you meet. And I said, who is this? And he said, my name is Sentient. And I said, oh, that's the name of my team. And he said, but you also know me as Seth. I said, excuse me? I said, Seth, the Seth? The one that channeled through Jane Roberts? And he chuckled and he laughed. He said, yes, I am this Seth. And I literally said to him, why are you here with me? And he said, please, Rocky, give me a few minutes to explain who you are and why you're here. So he started to explain to me that I'm from the White Brotherhood and I'm here to help shift and change the multiple realities that exist on this planet and other planets, and help shift and shape the consciousness of this planet. He said, but you also have a gift that you are aware of, but you haven't put it into action yet. And that gift is to heal pain quickly and efficiently. So I said, yeah, I'm sort of aware, but tell me more. And so he reminded me of a time a few years back when I was a union representative in the company I worked in, and we were at a union convention, and it was a pretty ugly convention. And one of the ladies there, who was a good friend of mine, she was a very gentle soul, she started getting a migraine headache. And I didn't know anything about healing. I didn't even know what healing was. I just walked over to her and said, well, maybe if I take my fingers and rub your muscles around your neck, maybe I can help. And she said, well, I got nothing to lose, because I just took my pills and they're not helping. So I just rubbed her neck a little bit gently, and then I put my hands on her shoulders, and I just rubbed her shoulders a bit. And then for about 10 minutes, I did that work, and then I said, okay, I'm going to go and sit down, and I hope that helps. And literally 2 or 3 minutes after that, her eyes burst open. She said, oh, my pain is gone. I said, really? She said, yeah, no, my headache's completely gone. She said, what did you do? I said, I don't know, just rubbed your muscles. And she said, well, thank you. I feel great. And she had dizziness, and she had a cold sweat. And I thought that was interesting. So he reminded me of that incident, and he said, that's what you do. He said, you connect to their being in a way that is not explainable by your human science, but you're able to help them release the cause of the pain in a deeply rooted part of their body, their interdimensional self. So I said, well, that's cool. And he said, we suggest that you study energy and that you start to understand how this gift of yours works. And I said, well, I'm an electrician already. He said, no. He said, not that kind of energy. He said, we're talking about something different here. I didn't know anything about what he was talking about. He said, but we will send you messages and we will remind you of where you need to go. So that turned out to be the study of quantum physics, biophysics, and epigenetics, and many other quantum sciences, conscious energy. I'll talk about that in a sec. But when I left that session, I went home, and then the next month, just by pure divine intervention, 4 women showed up in my life, one after another, with severe migraine headaches. And I suggested to them that I could do what I called energy healing back then. And they all agreed. And each woman, their headache disappeared in about 20 minutes with the same results: dizziness and cold sweat. So I knew I was on to something at that point. I had no idea what I was doing. And then a follow-up session, Seth said to me, "You do not study energy healing as you know it today. It is not who you are, and you are going to create your own modality. So we suggest you focus on your work and focus on your intuition and focus on continuing to heal, and your modality will take shape." So I said, that's fine. So it wasn't much long after that I created quantum emotional healing. And quantum emotional healing, I have to be very clear on this because people kind of expect you to be an energy healer or a Reiki master. I've got Reiki level 2, but I never used it. So I am not an energy healer. What I am is a quantum emotional healer, and I work with quantum fields, which is energy, but I don't work with the energy. I work with information within a quantum field. Now, you guys do Akashic record readings. I work with the Akashic record with programming. So and that's in the DNA. That's in the DNA.
Right.
So I work directly with the Akashic records in the DNA to help people discover and reveal core belief programming that is so well hidden you're not even aware that it's there, that is directly responsible for creating pain and suffering in humans' lives.
Yep.
So it's really important nowadays to understand that energy healing, as we've always known it, has always been a temporary fix, much like the medical system is a temporary fix. Now, occasionally, energy healers do provide healings that are complete and whole, and that's good. But in order to accomplish a healing that is effective and helps people permanently heal pain and suffering, you have to work with the core belief programming in the subconscious mind, not the brain. The brain is a tool that creates endless suffering, cycles of suffering and pain. The subconscious mind is where you store where you have your hard drive of the information that is responsible for creating what I call the frequency of suffering. So everything in the universe is a frequency. So my job is to reveal programs in you that no longer serve you and to help you identify them and release them and then reprogram them to a higher state of self-love. So earlier you mentioned what... Sure.
When you say programs, that's kind of a unique statement for Ann and myself, just because that's exactly what we, going into the records, exactly what we dig out. Our programs that are running, these are deep-seated programs, exactly what you're talking about. So just listening to you helps explain to me more of getting an understanding what quantum actually is. Because we're hearing more and more of that. And I don't really understand all of it yet because it's not really being explained well enough, I think. So I had to throw that out there. But thank you for that information. So go ahead.
Yeah, well, let me explain what quantum is, because I'm providing a course actually in the next few weeks in quantum. I call it quantum upgrades. First of all, quantum means everything at once. We live in a male patriarchal mindset, which is very linear. And women have always been right brain, left side of the body, quantum energy. Women are quantum energy, period. Quantum brain, quantum energy. It's the reason why you can multitask and men can't do more than one thing at one time. Quantum simply means all that is. It is a divine connection. It is the divine feminine. The divine feminine is quantum. End of story. Thanks very much for showing up. Drive home safely.
Oh, sorry there, love. We just lost you there for a quick second. Okay, continue.
Okay. So what did you miss?
Like 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds.
Okay. So quantum is a state of mindset where you connect to your truth. And for women, because as you know, 98% of my clients are women. Women are easy to work with because when it comes to working with emotions and core belief programming and feelings, women show up immediately because in the patriarchal mindset, there's no space out there in the medical system or anything else that allows women to be naturally who they are, to free the stuck energies, the stuck programs, the stuck feelings that cycle through over and over again because they're simply not allowed to release them in a way that respects who they really are. Quantum emotional healing is the modality that creates the space for women to create two things, safety and vulnerability at the same time. So when I'm working with women, women feel safe, which immediately creates a space for authenticity, but it also creates a vulnerability, which is a necessary quality in order to connect to, reveal, release, and reprogram energy fields and information that are creating the pain and suffering. So quantum is a new modality mindset that allows healers who are interested in upgrading to quantum to effectively heal pain now, not temporary, and then they come back a week later and they got pain again, and then you energy healers raise the vibration of a person's body, and that vibration is nullified by the core belief programming that still remains within the body after the healing, and it returns to its normal programming maybe a day or two or three later. So quantum is an effective way of healing because it deals and goes right to the root of the cause of pain and suffering, and it helps reprogram it with a very, very gentle, loving intervention. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes, it does.
You know, I'm running through a couple things in the back of my mind because we are hearing a lot about quantum itself, such as I don't know how much our audience has heard about this, but just through time and research that we're going into the quantum system, not only in the spiritual realm, so to speak, but in the financial realm. So, you know, we're pairing up both. I don't know how to describe it yet because I haven't really quite thought that out. But, I have kind of an understanding of what you're saying. And go ahead.
Well, an easy way to understand it is we're moving into fifth dimension reality. Right. We're moving out of 3D, old patriarchal mindset, linear, good and bad, right and wrong. We're going into quantum, which is love. There is no other choice. When you operate, as most humans do, with fear and limitation and unworthiness, it's incongruent with the new 5D world. Therefore, healing is paramount in these times because the amount of suffering you'll do from here on in will be amplified by 1,000 by by not becoming aware of what you need to do in order to receive love. Humans and women in particular are really horrible at receiving love. They're really good at giving love.
Right.
I have a statement I make to women in a general statement. Of course, this doesn't apply to everyone, but it applies to 99% of women. And they have one program that's running in them that is really, really not good for them. And they're not even aware that it's a program that causes them suffering. And here's the name of the program. You ready?
Go for it.
Yes.
I give my love away to everyone in the hopes of getting some back. Women claim that title as if it's some kind of great accomplishment, that they're somehow sacrificing their body, their mind, and their soul in order to give love away to everybody who needs support and love at their own cost, to be righteous or to be divine. That program has never been appropriate for women. In fact, what I do with women now in my healing work is I teach them slowly but surely to release that program and to take care of self first, not second, not third, not fourth, not 3,226 or ever. You know, women love, I shouldn't say love, that's not the right word. Women are programmed to take care of everyone else except themselves and first. So that all that love energy gets dissipated out to all these people who never appreciate it for the most part. And when a woman gives away all her love, how does she feel at the end of the day? I'm going to ask you both that question.
Let's see. So I'm going to answer that first, if you don't mind, Susie.
Sure.
As a wife and a mother, that was the first thing you did, you know. And I think when you say programming with that, it came in as a natural experience. Over time, however, looking back, there was much that was given up, and that I think it's only over time, as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, that I understood that I was not taking care of me, and that I got lost in that, if that makes sense. And so I don't disagree.
No, of course it does.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what you're saying, and I don't think you're saying as a harsh judgment.
No, it's not a judgment. It's a program.
Right.
It's a program from the patriarchal mindset. So
I wanted to be clear about that. That's why I said that.
Yeah, there's no fault here. There's just an opportunity to heal, to reprogram yourself and create a new mindset where the empowered woman, what an empowered woman does is she loves herself first, and she fills her temple with love, and then she moves out into the world, and her presence is nurturing and loving, and that's more than good enough all by itself. So people can learn to love themselves more by being introduced to the divine feminine goddess. So that's how the program of humanity is supposed to be working. There's a long journey for all of us to reach that. Women, of course, are leading the way. They always have. Since I can remember the 60s and 70s when women were starting the spiritual movement in earnest, and men were coming along really slowly. So women now demand to be free, and there's no second choice on this. So the freedom that they expect and demand, but they don't know how to accomplish it. And that's why my modality is so effective, because it gently guides them into a place where they intuitively know in their own DNA what they really want and what they really need and where they want to go. So we go there and we create a space for a woman to identify who they really are and to claim it and start walking the walk and talking the talk.
Right.
And that's it.
Let me see, Anne. I was waiting for you to chime
Yes.
in.
Okay. Yeah, I'm listening with great excitement here. This is really fantastic because that's wonderful that you have this modality, Rocky, that you actually can help people because, you know, it takes a lot to step outside of ourselves as women and as human beings, you know, and being bold enough to go against what we have been taught because it's all about the world, culture, family, everything, how we are programmed, just as you say. And sometimes we can feel like we need to have a candle to light up the situation so we can actually see and feel what's going on because it takes a lot to step outside and to understand. And sometimes we need to go against conventions, ideas, traditions, you name it, in order to get to the point where we feel that we are stepping into our personal power. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And I'll add something else to this as well. It's been my experience that I call it the number one trouble creator in all people's lives. You know, this is a general statement. Again, it's not true for everybody, but the number one crap disturber on the planet is family. Everybody has a dysfunctional member in their family that creates all kinds of pain and suffering. And
right.
here's the interesting thing about the patriarchal mindset. You're taught to take a lot more crap from family than you would from a stranger.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm shifting and changing that mindset to my family. Here's a new rule you can institute today if you like. My family are the people who love me, see me, hear me, support me, and acknowledge me and value me unconditionally. Period. Anyone else?
Yeah.
I teach something called block and walk. And that is, if it's an energy that's uncomfortable, whether it's a person, place, or thing, you block it with the full intention to be honored and respected in your vessel. And therefore, you block and you walk. Now, walking simply means you can be present with an energy vampire, if you wish, a family member. But it just goes in one ear and out the other, and it does not impact any of your triggers or your programming that says you have to support this person, even though the weight is heavier than heck. And so you just don't get involved. You simply don't allow that person's energy into your body anymore. And that gives you a deeper sense of freedom. The stress drops dramatically. And these are programs that I love teaching to women because the amount of freedom and stress-free existence, stress-free lives that they live is phenomenal. And anyone listening today can know and does know, a family member or two or three or even your entire family, like in my case, my entire family are completely incongruent with me, and I have let them go. And my family are the people out there who love me and respect me for who I am and what I do.
Right.
And that's it.
I'm kind of getting excited just hearing that aspect, and I say this to you just coming from the perspective of soul realignment, let's say, and exactly what you're talking about, okay, and what is involved with that. I'm trying to kind of word this because it's personal at the same time. So I think that soul realignment and the Akashic Records are in the quantum. That's number one. Number two, I can attest to exactly what you're speaking about due to a major clearing that occurred for me and a 2020 program that I participated in, and within the context of that 21 days, it was about the 10th day that this amazing shift occurred. It's the only way I can describe it. And the thing I needed to confront, okay, which, of course, when you have to do that with, let's say, one of your children as a hypothetical, which is not easy, this flowed through me like I've never had something flow through me before. And Anne knows about this. It's deeply personal. She's fully aware of it.
Yes.
And that set the path for me. I mean, literally just set the path.
Let me add something to what you just said, because there is a perception out there that becoming aware of a program is healing. Absolutely not true. It's not true.
Mm-hmm.
But becoming aware of a program is the beginning of the healing journey. So there are lots and lots of people out there, the Tony Robbins of the world who, do, this so-called epiphany, awakening kind of thing, and they call it healing. It's not healing. What healing is going deeply and gently and courageously into that program and releasing it. Now, there are not a lot of people on this planet who know how to release a program from the subconscious mind. But the experience that you had, now that's different. When it's experiential, that's when you become fully cognitive and aware on a linear level, but on a heart level as well, and the two come together to form an intention to not follow a rule anymore. Now that is healing.
Mhm. Correct.
So that's what I do, is I provide a space where healing is complete and full, and the program no longer exists, and you literally change the TV station that your reality is working on. You go from channel 2 up to channel 232, instantly. So you change your frequency. Now, what's important about frequency and the information in your subconscious mind is it is 100% responsible for your law of attraction creation, manifestation. So if you want to, there's lots of people out there teaching, that when you change your thoughts, you'll change you'll impact your law of attraction reality. That is not true. It is not true. It is not true. It is not true. You'll see memes on Facebook and say, I changed my thoughts and I changed my reality. That is not true. What is true is when you change your beliefs about self and others, the subconscious mind, it affects your thoughts, it affects your feelings, it affects the words that you use to describe your reality, and that is a total frequency change that does, in fact, change the outcome that you have in your life. So the law of attraction is an important part of the work that I do, because in order for a person to completely heal and start living a life of freedom and being pain-free, they have to invoke the words, the language, and a lot of people use a lot of words that are very common these days in their language, and what I call it their story, that is directly tied to pain and suffering, and they don't even know it. So when we do these mini healings in a bit, you'll see how that works. So I'm looking forward to doing some healings with anybody that wants to call in.
Right. Well, on that note, if you just, Ann and I went a little over what we normally do. We take the bottom of the hour. So, but we were just both listening intently to what you had to say. So I'm going to actually ask Ann if she wants to take the bottom of the hour, and then we'll come back over to you and maybe start taking some phone calls. Ann?
Sounds good.
Yes. Yes. I have been listening with great excitement. This sounds fantastic, really. And it's nice to hear you talk about things that I know some things. I also have my personal experience. I'm not going to talk long about those. I just want to chime in and say that when it comes to family, yes, I know there's a perception out there that and a program that we should actually have way more tolerance with family members because we are blood and we're supposed to just give them chances all over again and again and again and again because we have to accept them. We can't say no because it's a family member, right? I've lived through that, so I made my choices in life, and I actually say no to that, just as you did, Rocky. And my way of expressing that in words can be the queen, but I have the right to say yes or no. And if I don't see that any kind of relationship is good for me, it's only draining for me. So why would I maintain that? Why? There's no reason. And usually people around say, but you can't say no because it's a family member. And I said, yes, I can. I can say no if I feel for it. I can say no if I want to. It's my choice, not yours. I respect what you say, but it's my choice. So that's my
100%.
point of getting through that. Yes.
100% true. And so what I suggest, sorry, I'll just quickly throw in this statement. What I suggest is you change your vision of what family is. And my family are all the people on this planet who have honored me with the opportunity to share my gift with them, and to show respect, to be in a place of valuing myself and what I do, not just from a healing perspective, but from just me being me. And those are my new family. We're expanding from the patriarchal family mindset into the galactic mindset.
Yes, exactly. And I'm doing exactly the same. I'm born in Sweden from Swedish parents, but I have my family in Greece. So that's why I come here. I share much more with these people than I do with my blood family. It's our choice, And, I have my sister. We're talking to her right now on the radio, right? Across the globe in Arizona. And it's, we meet people all over the place that we feel much more connected and related to. So that's just an earthly human perception about how we should think that family is. Family is totally different. If it's a real family, it's very different. Okay?
Yeah.
So everybody... Yes, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say saying it and doing it are two different things. And so, congratulations for having the courage to stick to the onset of judgment from your decision to honor yourself first. That there's always a reaction, and you have to be ready for it, and you have to block it. And the reaction is their family. You owe us, and you can say no. I don't.
No, I don't owe anyone anything. I owe myself.
Good.
I still want to chime in here, but I know Ann has to get going with the bottom of the hour, which is now coming up to the top of the hour. So I'll maybe save that for afterwards. Go ahead, Ann.
Okay. So I'm just going to make some announcements here, because I know that we have people who have called in actually, and we want you to know that if you want us to take your call, please press 1. So we see that you actually want to be live on the show with us. And if you don't want, of course, that's okay. Just wanting to tell you that we would really appreciate you. We would love for you to press 1 so we could have you on air with us. But we won't take the call if you don't press 1, because we want to see on the board that you actually want to talk with us. So that's our way of honoring you calling us, right? And if you haven't called in yet, there's still room here, and Rocky will soon start with some mini healings here, and we are so excited. And it's a great time to get your spot in the queue. Call in at 213-943-3587. 213-943-3587. International callers dial +1 before the number, and again, press 1 to talk with us live on the show. Please press 1. Be bold, guys. Press 1. And we are talking today with our honorable special guest, Rocky Krogfoss, a quantum emotional healer, and we are talking about how healing truly occurs and what does it really mean to be empowered. Plus, we will take your calls very soon here for questions and mini healings live on air with Rocky. And he will be doing mini healings for migraines, physical pain, anxiety, depression, feeling lost, and more. Please note that Rocky does not do psychic mini readings, and if any one of you want a psychic mini readings, you're more than welcome to join us in the chat room at scrollsofthesoul.com/live, scrollsofthesoul.com/live, where we actually answer your questions for mini readings. And if you would like to connect with Rocky, you can email him at stressfreeme99@gmail.com, stressfreeme99@gmail.com, or go to his website. It's migraine1mastery.com, migraine1mastery.com. And everything you can read about Rocky and all links and everything is also in the chat room, so you can go to scrollsofthesoul.com/live, scrollsofthesoul.com/live. And of course, if you'd like to connect with me, Anne, or Sue, you can find us at scrollsofthesoul.com/Sue and scrollsofthesoul.com/Anne. And our next upcoming show on here on Scrolls of the Soul Radio is next Thursday, September 3rd, with Soul Sisters Show and host Sue and myself, Anne, and we will be talking about soul realignment, and we have a soul realignment related topic. So tune in and listen to us, plus your calls for questions and mini readings live on air as usual. And you can always keep yourself updated on upcoming shows at scrollsofthesoul.com/upcoming, scrollsofthesoul.com/upcoming. And we are a live live call-in worldwide radio show broadcasting today from Arizona in the U.S., Rhodes in Greece, and from Canada with Rocky Krogfoss. And you can always listen live and text chat with us during our shows at scrollsofthesoul.com/live. And once again, if you haven't called in yet, now is a great time to call in at 213-943-3587. 213-943-3587. International callers dial +1 before the number, and if you want to talk with us live on the show, press 1. So we are awaiting your calls with excitement here. Yes, guys, I think I'm done.
Okay. All right. Just looking around real quick, guys. I'll throw just one or two quick things in before we start taking our phone calls. So, Rocky, I completely can relate to what Anne was saying through my own unique family experiences, too. And I will say that the first time that mindset had started in my life was actually in my 20s.
Good.
And it started due to a father who abandoned us, his kids. And I thought I would go back and bring him into the picture because I had my firstborn child, and right away picked up on the same type of emotional treatment my child was starting to receive. And I went, okay, nope, bye-bye. And that set me on the path to say, hey, no, I can walk away. There is no rule, regulation, law, or however you want to put it at the time that says I have to participate with this person. And that opened the door for a lot of other aspects, to cut that off. To say, no, I don't have to do that. And like you said, finding and figuring out how, we are all family in the universal sense, and that we gain that through, I think, time, experience, and like Anne said, I'll attest to that. Yeah, in every way, she is my sister. Our story is kind of, unique too, and how we came together. So I just wanted to confirm not only what Anne was saying, but what you're saying. And my final thought is actually a question. I'm curious about men. Have you noticed with the shift that's been taking place that you have had men coming to you recently, or no?
No.
No.
Men are. There are more, especially young men who are already higher vibration. They're definitely waking up to the old patriarchal mindset and walking away from it. Men who are, let's say, 35 and over, they come to me rarely. Maybe 3 or 4 men in the last 2 years. And but when they come, they do the work, and there's just extra work involved in getting a man prepared for quantum emotional healing, because we have to get past his ego and his pride in order to get to square one, where women automatically show up. So there's a lot more work involved. But if men are truly willing to heal and listen, and I mean listen, not debate or argue, because if a man wants to debate or argue with me, I show him the door and I say, sorry, this ain't going to work for you. You need to go and see a counselor. Right. So one of the things that I've been teaching men a lot when I get a chance to is the art of listening. And I'll just mention this now. I have a book that I've written called The Subtle Art of Listening, Why Hearing a Woman Can Lead to a Deeper Love. There's a true story in it about a man who didn't have a clue how to hear his beloved, and when he did, there were some very, very attractive benefits that men really enjoy when he started to listen to her. And what he did is I taught him how to put a sock in his mouth, turn off the fix, correct, or make better, which is what men do in order to earn love from women. They fix them, and they think that they're earning love from them by fixing them, which is 100% wrong. And so I've got this free book. It's an ebook, and anybody can have it. All you need to do is email me. And I will mention this as well. I do a free 1-hour healing session online using Zoom. And in order to book a free healing session, you can either email me, or you can go to my website, which is www.migraine1mastery.com. There's a form there you can fill out to have a free 1-hour healing session, and you'll see from what we do, experience that you have, and you'll know that quantum emotional healing is a tool that will help you. And that's it for now. Yeah.
Nice. Do you want to state that email address right now before I move on to any callers?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Stress, just like it sounds, stressfreeme99@gmail.com. Stressfreeme99@gmail.com, just like it sounds.
Right. And you guys over there in the board, I hope you took that down. It sounds like it could be to your advantage. Well, this has been quite interesting and fascinating. I rather enjoyed it. But I do have a few people on the board, so I'd like to get going if you're ready. And
so here's what I need. Here's what I need from you both. I need you to just be quiet and just listen. Don't interrupt during the time that I'm doing the healing. When I'm done the healing, you can make your comments and everything like that. And so I'll take control of the healing when a person calls in.
Okay.
So I'm ready to go. Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm coming over to you. And like Ann said before, I'm looking at my board. I run the board, and I see I have a caller who didn't press 1. If you want to participate, please press 1 on your keypad. If not, I'm going to presume that you're here just to listen. So with that, I'm going to take our first call. Hello. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is T, and I'm calling from New Jersey.
Can you speak up one more time, love? I didn't catch that. There's a little background noise. Say that again.
Oh, it's T.
Okay. From New Jersey, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you.
What question do you have for our guest Rocky today? Understanding that he is a healer, he doesn't do psychic work.
Oh no, just if he picks up if I need healing in any areas, I'm open to receiving healing.
Okay, so I will ask Rocky to come in and join us and see what it is he can do.
Okay. Is the name Tea like a cup of tea?
Yes.
Okay. See, let me explain what I do. Whatever's going on in your body now, whatever feels uncomfortable. When I say feel, I mean whatever feels uncomfortable to you, whether it's family, whether it's a boyfriend, whether it's your job, whether it's your view of self, whatever's going on in your world, whatever you want to begin healing today. Of course, it's not going to be a perfect healing because we got a small amount of time, but you'll get a sense of the feeling of what's possible here. Can you explain to me, please, what it is you would like to heal in your body?
Say, just the way how I think. So I would say my mind, because trusting people has to be one of the biggest things for me, and relationships.
Right. Okay. Let me work with that because that's a big topic. Trust. You have trouble trusting people. So where we're going to begin now is going back to your inner child, to the little girl when she's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years old. And so I'd like for you to just take a moment now to just listen to my words. Don't respond until I ask you, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to feel and listen to these words. Now take a few deep breaths, through air coming through your nose and out your mouth. A couple deep breaths. You'll note that this is very gentle, very calm. And what you're doing is you're setting up your body in order to receive this wisdom and this gift and this love. And to help that little girl who exists inside you now understand why she has trust issues. And you probably have trust issues with men in relationship as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the relationship you had with your father, if you don't mind. I know this is personal, but this is really important for you to be 100% open and authentic here. Tell me, as best you can, what was your relationship like with your father?
He was there, present, but we didn't spend a lot of time. We lived in the same house, but he always worked a lot.
So he worked a lot.
Yes.
Okay. Works a lot. A little child will interpret that as abandonment. And so he was also probably not very good at showing you love. Would that be correct?
Yeah, I can say that.
Yeah. So when a child who's this pure, innocent ball of angelic light reaches out to a parent, a mother and a father, and saying, I need some love here, and the love doesn't come, it creates trust issues in men in this particular case. How would you describe your mother's treatment of you as a little girl?
Oh, it's good. She's very reliable, loyal. I would say it was really good. But she also worked a lot, so I spent a lot of time with my grandmother.
That's different. You've got both parents who worked a lot, and I want to be clear here. I'm not making any judgments on your parents. I'm simply stating what happened that caused you to believe that you're not worthy of receiving love because your parents are never home, they're working a lot, and you developed what we can call a subconscious program of distrusting men because they're never available for you when you need them. I'm talking at a subconscious level here. Yeah.
Actually, that's what I'm going through right now.
Right. So the best way to work with this is to embrace this program inside you and let go of the people involved. We're just talking about a program now. So I'm going to work briefly on that program for you, and I want you to give yourself permission. So I want you to say these words out loud, please. I give my body permission.
I give my body permission
To release.
To release.
The fear and trauma of not receiving the love that I needed.
The fear and the trauma of not receiving the love I needed.
And I deserved. And I deserved. Are you there?
And I deserve. Yes.
Thank you. So, once again, just connect to that feeling, if you can, please. Tell me where in your body you're feeling that unworthiness, that fear, that trauma of not receiving love, of being abandoned.
I'll say my stomach area.
Exactly. Well done. Because I can feel it right now. One of the things about quantum emotional healing is I work with the energy of conscious energy, which is connected to everything. Everything is connected to everything on this planet. And I use what I call the conduit to connect directly to you. So I can feel your stomach right now as we're speaking. And the stomach is where we hold a lot of the shame and a lot of the unworthiness. And that belief system, although it's subtle and it's not something we like to proudly go out and say, I'm not worthy of love. You don't do that. You kind of hide it and you kind of keep it and you try to tolerate it. You try to survive it. You try to cope with it. And all it's doing is creating a frequency that attracts the kind of men who will continue to abandon you and not respect you and not give you the love that you need. So the best way to change your relationship with everyone, including men, is to release this program and other programs associated with it that will allow you to shift and change your frequency and change how you feel about yourself. Because you want to be a loving goddess, you don't want to be a frustrated goddess. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I totally agree.
Good. So let's do a quick, brief healing on that program right now. And I'm going to just ask you to listen and just allow this energy to come to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm sending you a wave of energy now. We call it the purple light. It's from the high heart. And I'm sending it directly through this conduit into your body right now. And I just want you to allow it, just to receive this love. open up the gate and allow this love to come in as a gift to you from the universe. And just breathe. Just breathe gently. Breathe easy. Allow this energy to soothe your entire chest right down to your stomach. And feel it. And realize you are special. You are a goddess. You are the innocence of the little girl. You don't have to fight or justify yourself about anything ever again. Ever again. You only receive that which you enjoy and are worthy of. Everything else, you can block it right now, and we can create what we call a sanctuary for you. We'll call it like a little bubble of light that you can step into. And inside this bubble, just imagine you're stepping inside this bubble right now. And inside this bubble is the energy of love. And the only thing you're receiving right now is love. Nothing else matters. Time doesn't matter. The people around you doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is you're taking care of you right now. And the irony is when you take care of you first and take care of you intentionally, you create a frequency that attracts a man who takes care of himself and is willing to join you in what I call the dance of love, which means it's an equal sharing of love, and you dance together in the energy of love. And there's no trust issues because it's not even an issue. It's obvious that he's worthy of your trust, and it's obvious that he's worthy of, or you're worthy of his trust as well. So in this sanctuary, you just breathe. You could say meditate if you wish, and you allow yourself to receive more love from your angels, from your spirit guides, from God, and let your bubble fill. And you'll notice that the bubble begins to expand. So this bubble that you're in right now, you can travel anywhere you want within this bubble and still be in this world, aware of everything going on. The only thing is this bubble has a new rule. And the rule is that if you do not honor and respect me, if you do not value me, if you do not support me, if you do not see me, if you do not acknowledge me, if you do not hear me, you are not allowed into this sanctuary of my love. How does that feel to you?
It's really good.
Thank you. Isn't it amazing how simple it is when we get right down to the basics of your right to be loved unconditionally and nothing else really matters? It's really simple. But the problem is we have all that programming from your inner child, and that needs to be released. So I welcome you to sign up for a free 1-hour healing session, a private session online at my website, www.migraine1mastery.com. So do you have any thoughts of how you feel right now? Can you share how you're feeling right now?
I would say really good. I feel like it's a great perspective and how to look at it.
Yes. And like I said, this is a mini healing, and we would approach all of that when we have more time. So, is there anything else you would like to share?
Yeah, I feel like with that, definitely when you were doing the healing, I want to say it was definitely pressure in the chest area.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, I felt it.
It felt like aching.
Yes,
so it kind of felt like some. Yeah, but definitely will say that that abandonment thing definitely came up because I think I had a situation this weekend that was kind of felt like that, and it was a guy, felt like it was abandonment, and I was really upset. And so yeah, I really was. I felt like I needed that. So I guess you know, that was that vibration I attracted. So therefore, like, you can't accept certain things like that.
Right. So you've known great heartache. You've known disappointment. You've known many facets of heartache. And so the heart would be one of the areas we would target for additional healing and release of the illusion that you're not worthy of receiving love, and start to build you up again to the point where you only receive unconditional love. No other love is good enough. We don't do good enough anymore. We only do the best. We do unconditional love. Everything else you can block. And so the healing process, you're getting a sense of the healing process right now, because it's not about logic. It's not about counseling. It's about connecting to the feelings. And in the feeling body, that's where the saying comes from. In order to heal it, you must feel it. And we don't want to feel on this planet. We don't want to feel. We want to take a pill and run away from our feelings. And so when you give this program the space and the feeling, and you stay with it long enough, something magical happens. It begins to dissipate like a mirage, and it disappears forever. And that's how you clean out a program from your subconscious mind in the DNA, in the Akashic records, in the DNA. So it sounds to me like you're ready for this kind of healing, and I welcome you to check me out on the website or send me an email, and I'll arrange a 1-hour free healing session for you. Would that be okay?
Yes, that would be perfect.
Okay. I'll ask Anne. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, guys. I'm patiently waiting because this is really fascinating to me, Rocky, and for Chi. I want to confirm something. So I usually douse. You know, when I join in the background, I'll start to douse when we have guests. And there's a couple things I noticed that I want to confirm to both you and T. So T, this is important. I started, normally when I douse, it's a matter of plenty of words. You know, I don't do pictures that often. And when Rocky started sending this energy to you, right, I visually see the energy he's talking about. So what happens for me is I started drawing something I've never drawn before, which looked kind of like an EKG. You know, when you have those heart monitors that come out, right? Yeah. And as Rocky proceeded and you were relaxing and embracing, the shift in the EKG came in when dance started to happen, when you spoke about dance. So you talked about where this hit you in the gut area, right? And I could see right when you talked about the gut area, there was the line started to shift. It started to kind of almost flatline. And then when the healing started to occur, all of a sudden the lines were layered on top of each other. I could see Rocky's energy, you receiving it, and there were these lines that were soft lines that were coming to your heart. I even have heart written down, EKG, and the word dance on top of these beautiful lines that I overlaid for you, T. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It actually does. I was feeling a lot of pressure there.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, please do yourself that favor and continue with Rocky. I mean, it's fascinating to see it for me visually while he's doing this for you. So
I definitely will, and thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
My pleasure, my dear. You know what? I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.
No problem. I'm signing up now.
Right. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Have a blessed Blessed day.
You too.
Bye.
Hey, Sue, I just want to say I've never had anybody do that before. That's a very cool expression of how you interpreted or felt that. I wanted to thank you for that.
You're welcome. In fact, I see, because I also see energy and I see colors, and I can see how, for you, kind of it looked like it was coming straight from the heart. And at first it came out as an EKG, but then it shifted, and I didn't draw this part. It shifted like a cone, like radar waves. So when a radar sends out a signal into a cloud, right? And it starts off at a very small point and then it widens out. That's what I was seeing with you. So this was a very small point and it widened. It got really far out there. So you basically surrounded her whole body. I could see this energy just surround her.
Yeah.
You know, got really,
well, what
really
happened?
huge.
What happened on a divine basis, a quantum divine basis, was she allowed her body to expand exponentially to, experience the breadth and depth of her being, which, very quickly and efficiently allowed her to let go of what she perceives as her reality, to experience all of the love that she's worthy of. And so, healing is very, very simple. It's very, very simple. Healing is receiving love. End of story. Thanks very much for showing up. Drive home safe. So that's what it's about.
Well, for me, I get to sit in the passenger seat and be behind and just observe it all. So that was, I like to do that. That's, there's things we can learn as we continue to grow, in this unique experience. All right, Rocky, cool. I'm going to move over to our next caller because we are definitely moving through time very quickly. So let me head on over here. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, hi. My name is Patricia.
Say that again, love. I didn't hear that.
My name is Patricia.
Patricia. Hi, Patricia. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ohio.
Welcome. I'm going to actually hand you over to Rocky, and Rocky has the floor. Go ahead, Rocky.
Hi, Patricia.
Hi.
Thank you for taking my call.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Did you hear the last one?
Just a bit of it.
Okay.
I'm just really just trying to do things to get things to and actions to working for me. I'd like to really get a grasp on, so many things, but obviously you have to narrow it down. I've been dealing with for a great deal of my life, and it's really culminated being here in these last 8 years, just really difficulties and just challenges. And yes, we all do, and this was way before the pandemic. So yes, I heard a bit of the caller talking about abandonment and experienced that, but I don't know what it is here. I've just had difficulty with getting monies and to help my getting a job, and difficulties with relationships. But all this has been happening a great portion of my life. I need to know, what is it? Is it my karma, or is it going back ancestral past life stuff? And yes, I've unfortunately had my experiences with abuse, sexual abuse, and abandonment, rejection from both parents, even though I was raised by my mother. but who was always angry and so on and so forth. And in fact, I came back here to help out my aunt those few years ago, who claimed she wanted my help, but her actions always showed up and just, wasted my time. And it's just, I'm just really had enough.
Okay.
No matter
okay.
what I've done, I try to move myself forward. So I just need to know, what do I need to do? Ancestral healing, past lives.
No.
What?
No. None of that. None of that will help you. So let me tell you one word, and it will cover everything you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Unworthiness to receive love. There is a very large part of your all-encompassing programming from everything you experienced as a child that screams, I'm not worthy of love. I'm not good enough. And so naturally you're attracting and reflecting that in your life today. There is a scientific fact on a study that was done at Stanford University that showed that 80% of our core beliefs in our subconscious mind contain unworthiness, fear, and limitation. You have all of that plus more, and it's not your fault. So we want to be clear here. There's no fault here. There's no judgment. It is a karmic agreement that you had on your soul journey in this earth to experience this, because in past lives you tried to clean up these different things, but in this life it became you agreed to a much more difficult journey in order for you to, quote unquote, wake up. And here you are today sharing your story with courage. We love that. I love that. And so today we begin a new journey for you if you're up for it. And it's the complete release of all of the experiences that little girl had, and letting go of the pain and the shame and the lack of trust, the guilt, the abandonment, the sexual abuse is rampant on this planet. And the sexual abuse all by itself is enough to cause all of the things that you've experienced, but you've experienced many others. So what I'm going to do is, and I really felt you're exasperated, you're exhausted, you're fed up, you're done, you don't know what to do. So I'm telling you today that this is very easy to heal. So I want you to hear that. This is very easy to heal when we focus on the unworthiness as a starting point and going into the multiple layers of pain and suffering that you have been holding in your body, not because you don't know what you're doing, but because you don't know what to do. How do we do? Because we live in a world where the medical system, they don't know anything about emotional healing. They never have. They never will. So, you seek help, and nobody's able to help you because they're working with your brain, not your subconscious mind. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do exactly the same thing I did with the last person, and I want you to say these words and repeat the words that I say, okay? Can you do that for me?
Yes.
So I want you to give yourself, so I give myself permission.
I give myself permission
to connect to the feelings.
To connect to the feeling.
Without fear.
Without fear.
The right to receive pure love.
And with the right to receive pure love.
Just for me.
Just for me.
Good. So close your eyes, please, and just take a few deep breaths once again. And allow the angels and your spirit guides now to come to you. Give them permission to come to you. They need your permission to help you. They care deeply about you. They love you unconditionally. They've always been there. through every single thing that you've gone through. They've always been there. And as a team, we will work together to help you begin to unravel this feeling of unworthiness, this feeling of not being good enough, this feeling of distrust, this feeling of, no, I'm just not good enough. And it's okay, because there's millions and millions and millions of people on this planet who feel the same. So you're not alone. You're not alone. So I'm going to connect to that feeling now, and I would like you to give yourself permission to connect to that feeling of not being good enough for your parents. And just, if you can, describe to me where in your body you feel that.
Well, I think I feel in several places, but I'll start with the solar plexus, my heart.
Yes. Yes.
Well, I would say my root chakra.
Yes, I'm feeling it in your belly button, root chakra area, absolutely. Yeah. Go lower if you can.
Well, I'm feeling energy or sensations on the soles of both my feet.
Yes. I'm feeling it in your right hip as well.
Yeah, because the doctor said that I had sciatica, which it bothers me on both areas, both hips, and of course sleeping on an airbed does not help that. But again, I'm in a financial lack. That's what I could afford right now, and all these other challenges.
So what would happen to your reality if you gave yourself permission right now in this special place that we're in right now to receive without any justification, to receive the resources you need to heal? Can you give yourself permission to connect to that complete feeling? Thank you. And I want you to say these words to your spirit guides now, please. I surrender my pain to you.
I surrender my pain to you.
And I ask you with gratitude.
And I ask with gratitude
that you bring me the resources.
That you bring me the resources
I need to heal.
I need to heal.
I am worthy of being pain-free.
I am worthy of being pain-free.
I am that I am.
I am that I am.
And I am love.
I am love.
Good. Now, I'm going to send you a wave of light as well, a wave of purple light from what we call the high heart. It's the angelic energy of Saint Germain. And I'm going to send it to your solar plex, to your heart chakra, and to your belly button area, and to your hips, both of them. And I would just like you to receive it. Imagine, if you will, you're opening up a chasm and all the light is coming in to your body. And it feels so good. It feels so good. Now your throat chakra is opening up. That's why you're coughing. This means that you have every right now to be heard and valued. Yes. You feel that. Yes. You have every right to be heard and valued and supported and seen. These are my commands, God, so it is.
I have every right to be heard and listened to. These are my...
And valued and supported.
And I have every right to be valued and supported now.
This is my command, God.
This is my command, God.
I am love.
I am love.
I am so grateful. Thank you.
I am so grateful. Thank you.
Note that this energy field of shift and change will stay with you after this call is done. It will stay with you as long as you give it permission to stay with you, to allow you to move forward, to receive, and don't put any conditions on how you receive the resources. Just know that the resources are being sent to you and being prepared and manifested for you now. Your spirit guides have a vested interest in your well-being and your evolution on this planet. They are acting on your request right now. Whatever you need in life, whatever you feel is appropriate for you, you just have to ask your spirit guides and they will bring it to you. You need to let go of the command. Just make the command, let it go, and carry on with your life. And I'd like to introduce to you a new concept for your mind and your heart, okay? And the concept is called the river of life. And here's how it works. I want you to imagine this golden stream, and there's a canoe there, and it's waiting for you. And you climb into the canoe, and you notice that the canoe doesn't have any paddles, it doesn't have a steering mechanism, and it doesn't have sails. And you climb into the canoe, and you start gently meandering down the river of life, which means you're working with the energy of the divine feminine. You're working with your spirit guides. You're working with God this anymore because of guilt, shame, abandonment, all of these other very uncomfortable feelings that you are surrendering to right now. In this boat, in this canoe, in the river of life, you are simply relaxing and saying, I surrender all of this to Mother Earth. I surrender all this pain and all this suffering to Mother Earth now. Take a deep breath.
I surrender all.
Go ahead, please.
I surrender all this pain, all this stuff and abuse and lack and hurt, grief, difficulty, struggling.
Yes.
Mother Earth.
Notice that the tension in your chest and your stomach are lessening. They're not gone yet, but they're lessening. The pain in your hip is lessening, getting weaker and weaker. You've had a difficult, challenging life. More healing is required. And that's okay. We in our human bodies are programmed to a certain level of understanding. And when we come up our own healing, even though we want to heal in the worst way possible, we come up against our own resistance to that healing because the feeling body is not used to fully feeling something and then releasing it. It doesn't want to feel anything. The ego in you says, I don't want to feel that pain. Can't we just take a pill and run away from this? But you're done. You're done playing the game. You're done playing the game. I want to use that analogy. God, this game is over. You know what? The score is me 1, everybody else nothing. I am now done with this game. I will be moving forward with my life. I will be taking care of me. I will surrender. I am surrendering my pain and suffering to the universe now, and I'm ready to receive the healing that I deserve and the resources I need to accomplish that. The game's over now. The new reality begins now. Just tell me how you're feeling.
I feel a bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
Calmer.
Good. So I would like to invite you to also sign up for a free 1-hour quantum healing session on my website, www.migraine1mastery.com. Just fill out the form and I'll contact you and we'll arrange a time for a full 1-hour session. Would you be okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to say thank you for having the courage to come on this show and share your story with us and allowing me the privilege and the honor to work with you. I can say to you that you're well on your way to healing. It may not feel like it right now, but you're well on your way. Your spirit guides have your back. The angels have your back. Everyone's on your side. Everything's going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're so welcome, my dear.
Wow.
Now I'm
Patricia. Sorry, go ahead, Rocky.
No, I was going to say I was going to turn it over to you later.
Just really quick, Patricia. We're kind of getting ready to run out of time, and I don't want to let you go, but I do want to say how much we really do appreciate you calling in and your entrusting your story and your spirit with us. And I can confirm many things Rocky was relating and what he saw, as well as what you felt. And as far as guides, there are quite a few guides that were there. They had hands on your shoulder. So through the end, your shoulders actually dropped out. They slumped. They relaxed when we brought it to a close. Did that happen? Patricia?
Yes.
Yeah.
You broke up.
Oh, sorry about that. I'll try again. Just confirming what Rocky said, and I saw that your body relaxed when he was done.
Yes.
So, listen, I've got to wrap this up, but I would like to invite you to call us back. We're on every week, and would absolutely love to hear how things are going and how you've moved through your journey. Ann and I always love to hear back from our callers and listeners. And I state the same to T. I'm not sure if she's still out there, I don't think. But please consider calling back and just letting us know how you're doing.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Have a blessed day.
You too.
Bye, Patricia.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay. All right, Rocky. Ann, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening. Wow, that was amazing.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of information I doused here, but I'm going to just quietly leave that information in the background.
Yes.
Right.
So, I can do some short announcements, and then we can tell some more things until we wrap it up, okay? So,
yes.
Thank you, everybody, for calling in and interacting with us and listening in and, everything. We have been talking to special guest Rocky Krogfoss today, a quantum emotional healer, talking about how healing truly occurs and what does it really mean to be empowered. And Rocky has performed a couple of absolutely stunning mini healings live on air with two very courageous ladies. That was absolutely something very, very special. And our next upcoming show here on Scrolls of the Soul Radio will be next Thursday, September 3rd, the Soul Sister Show, and host Sue and Ann, and we will be talking about soul realignment and a soul realignment related topic. Plus your calls for questions and mini readings live on air will be on same time as usual, 10 a.m. Pacific in the U.S., 6 p.m. London, 7 p.m. Sweden, and 8 p.m. Greece in Europe. And you can always listen to replays of all our shows anytime at scrollsofthesoul.com/past, scrollsofthesoul.com/past. Check out upcoming shows at scrollsofthesoul.com/upcoming. And of course, you can also find us on YouTube. Just go and search for Scrolls of the Soul Radio on YouTube, where you can listen to full past episodes and check out teasers of upcoming shows. And usually replays of shows will be up within 24 hours, but I had some technical issues a couple of weeks here, maybe because I'm in Greece, I'm not sure. So by Saturday, this show will be up and running. And if you want to connect with Rocky, you can find him at www.migraine1mastery.com, migraine1mastery.com, or email him at stressfreeme99@gmail.com, stressfreeme99@gmail.com. And you can always go and find all the links and everything at scrollsofthesoul.com/live. We will have everything in the chat room. We keep it for until next week's show, so you can go back and find any information if you want to connect with Rocky. And if you'd like to connect with me, Anne, or Sue, you can find us at scrollsofthesoul.com/Sue or scrollsofthesoul.com/Anne. And if we didn't have a chance to take your call today, please call into our next show. And thank you all for listening and calling in. And we're back next Thursday, September 3rd.
Can I say a couple things?
Yes,
before we go?
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
For all the people listening today who live in either Canada or the United States, you can call me direct on my cell phone at 604-802-6390. Anyone who tried to call in today and was not able to get on the show, you can go to the website and fill out a free healing session form on my website. It's very simple, very easy, and I do have that free book that I mentioned earlier that teaches men how to hear a woman. It's an ebook, and if you're tired of being a woman not being heard, which is just about everybody on the planet, and you want to be heard by your beloved man, this book is available to you, and it's really simple. It's only 38 pages, but it will be a book that a man can understand. And there's an exercise in it to teach him how to hear you without fixing or correcting or ignoring you. And so I want to say thank you to Anne and Sue for this opportunity to do this show today. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
Oh, well,
thank you so much,
you
Rocky. And yes, and go ahead, Sue.
I was just going to say we'll have to do this again in the future. The timing was actually perfect, and I enjoyed it too because I like to in the background do my own kind of join in as you're doing that. So I really enjoy that experience as well. So thank you. We really honor you and appreciate your work. Thank you for coming on, Anne.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Rocky. Thank you so much for coming on, and that was a really stunning show. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you so much. All right. Take care.
All right. You too, Rocky. I'm just have a great day. Thank you, everyone. Sissy, any final?
No.
What?
I don't. Rocky, sorry. Do you have anything more? We have 4 minutes, 3.5 maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me speak to the women directly then. The time has come on this planet for you to be free of thousands of years of programming that no longer serves you. And the healing is available to you today. Every woman, because of the transitional energy of the planet now into 5D from 3D, is experiencing the longing for freedom. The longing for freedom can occur as long as you have a pathway that allows you to do that with ease and grace. Quantum emotional healing provides that for you, and I'm more than happy to help you out. Like I say, check out my website, fill in a form, do a healing, and if you want to do more healing, we can talk about that later. But so, women of the world, you're needed on this planet. Every single one of you, even if you don't believe you're important, you're all needed on this planet. The divine feminine is very needed. The divine masculine needs help and guidance from the divine feminine. And so be proud of the fact that you're a part of this earth and this galactic universe that is infinitely wise, infinitely powerful, infinitely nurturing, infinitely loving, and of great importance to the betterment of this planet and its people.
Thank you.
So,
thank you, Rocky.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to have to go, guys, or we're going to get cut off. Just a quick shout out to my mom, as usual. Angels watch over you all night long. And
yes, and I say thank you so much, everybody. Love, light, peace, and joy to all of you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.